So this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is a gourd bowl. You know, it's kind of like a squash that is treated with the sun, and then eventually it's cut off in half so we can start we take the inside out, and eventually we apply a layer of beeswax and pine resin. There's not a previous pattern or anything drawn. It's just, in this case we started from the center bead, which is this one, and it went outside. So the best thing about these art pieces is the symbolism behind them. In this particular case, you know, the center image represents a portal. On our language we call it Nyerika. You know, in English might sound like mandalas.
Oh yeah.
But the Nyerika figures on our tribe represent doorways to different dimensions where we learn how to connect and communicate with nature. All the different teachings that we need to access or learn come from these particular portals. There are different dimensions of teachings. In our case, we become healers, we become artists, musicians. So and we learn how to connect and communicate with nature. So here's the star. You know, it just represents that we're all surrounded by the stars and how big the universe is. Here we have the corn. The star represents the father, which is the sun. The corn represents the mother, which is what nurtures us. So in this case, that's what's going on in the center. You know, is the father and the mother, the duality that eventually create life on Earth. When it goes down to the animals, you know, the deer itself represents our ancestor. It's believed that the spiritual life was started as a figure of a deer, and the creator of our spiritual life, it was our Tamatzikauyumari, which is our older brother deer. So this is like the ancestral knowledge and our ancestors. When it comes to the hummingbird, you know, the hummingbird represents the new generation, so that's like now. You know, the hummingbird is a symbol of the children from 0 to 5 years old that are being introduced into the spiritual life, because on our traditions we start in the spiritual path ever since we're born. So in the first 5 years you're considered to be the children of the corn, which is here in the middle, and after you accomplish the 5 years of presenting yourself into the sacred sites and 5 years of ceremony, you become the children of your parents. But on the meantime, while on that stage, you're considered to be the children of the corn. This flower right here, it's a flower known as kieri. It's in the solandras, on the soleneses is the name of it. And the kieri, it's a flower that we use as the flower of knowledge. It's whenever we have a question, we go and look for this particular flower. If we find it, we cut a flower off, we bring it back home, and before we go to sleep, we meditate on the question we want to answer, and through the dreams, the answer comes along, channeled through the flower. This particular cactus is known as hikuri, and the hikuri represents like the key that allows you to enter to the different dimensions. It's also known, there has been some research done in this particular medicine, and they haven't found anything better to the heart than this particular cactus that grows on our main sacred site. So the reason why the color looks kind of like earth color, it represents like the color of the desert, because that's where our main sacred site is and where all the inspiration to create this artwork comes. So on the sides, here you have like scorpions. The scorpions represent the guardians. So it's like the guardians of the corn and the guardians of this particular knowledge in this case. Yeah, so it's made by Faustino Montes. No, Faustino Montes is this artist right here, and nowadays he's considered to be one of the finest beaders in the world, because he took the art into a new level. So,
and do you want to say hello to my grandmother, and her name is Sonia?
Kya kuperata tu yeka Sonia. That means like the greeting on our traditional language. So
that's very sweet. Okay, thank you very much.